So if you're a guy wondering that, oh, soya will give me estrogen and I'm going to have man boobs. No, you're not. Alright, what's up you guys? You are watching Zealocity, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you the best protein sources for vegetarians and vegans. First, we're going to go through the vegetarian protein sources, and then in the next section, we're going to go through the fully vegan plant-based protein sources which you can use as a vegetarian or a vegan and fulfill your protein intake. And trust me, so many people ask me this. I've spoken about this in so many of my videos, but I thought it's time to make a separate video on this so that you guys, if you're a vegetarian or on a plant-based diet, how you can fulfill your protein requirements. Okay. Most people have this misconception that I cannot fulfill my protein intake. On a vegan or vegetarian diet, it's very hard to fulfill protein intake. False. Definitely not true. Second, people think that vegetarian protein sources are inferior to animal protein sources. Again, not true. Third, people think that it's hard to build muscle, it's hard to lose fat on a vegetarian diet. And I'm like, that's not even related. It's like, you can be in a calorie deficit whether you have a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet or a non-vegetarian diet, whatever you do, even a carnivore diet, whatever diet you do. The essence is a calorie deficit, which in turn helps you lose weight in calories in, calories out. That's what you're going to decide if you want to lose weight. Okay. But anyway, let's not waste any more time and get into the video for today. For this, I'm going to be using the database of Healthify Me. I'm also going to give you the typical serving sizes and how much calories you get in a typical serving. Okay. My phone screen is going to be up here, and you can check it out, whatever I'm doing. So in this first section, the vegetarian section, we're going to keep dairy products and eggs too. A lot of vegetarian people consider eggs and dairy as vegetarian, right? And there are plant-based vegans who do not consider dairy and eggs to be eaten. Anyway, whatever the differences are, I'm not going to discuss that. But in this section, we're going to include dairy products, dairy sources, and eggs as well. Okay, so first, an egg. It's a powerhouse of nutrition. Literally, it is a superfood in itself. Contains a lot of vitamins and minerals, contains a lot of protein, healthy fats, and whatnot. And here, as you can see on the screen, one whole egg. I'm going to search it here in front of you and see one large egg would give you somewhere around 6.3 grams of protein, 5.3 grams of fat, and carbs 0.5, 0.6 grams, whatever it is. So somewhere around 77. So we can take as an estimate of 6 to 7 grams of protein and 70 to 80 calories. Okay, that's what I work with. I always work with ranges and estimates, not exact figures. Like, you can't always be precise with the amount of calories and protein that you're getting in food. So don't stress over all that. Okay, so typically a serving would be 2 eggs, and 2 eggs would be somewhere around 150 calories, give or take, at the cost of almost 13 grams of good quality protein with all the good essential amino acids that your body needs in order to build muscle, in order to fulfill all the tasks of the body, of the protein that happens in the body, just say keeping your metabolic health in check, your hormones that are made from protein, the peptide hormones, the neurotransmitters, skin health, hair health, etc. And the muscle, obviously muscle tissue repair and growth. That's the main function of protein, right? Then that's how you gain muscle and you gain lean tissue and you get stronger. So that's number one for us. The second source on the list is going to be paneer and cheese. Cheese and paneer are pretty much the same. They do not differ much in the calorie quantity, although a lot of people do not prefer having cheese or cannot have cheese due to intolerances or allergies. But then paneer is mostly suited for a lot of people. Okay, so if you take paneer, and a typical serving size would be somewhere around 50 grams, right? So here you select grams, and then I select 50 here on my screen, and that you can see here, 50 grams of paneer would give you somewhere around 9 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, 0.6 grams of carbohydrates. So total 132 calories that you would get from 50 grams of paneer. As a rule of thumb, you can consider 50 grams of cheese and paneer as the same amount of calories and same amount of protein, because that's what it does give you. Okay, for the people who do not have eggs, paneer is a pretty good alternative. Instead of 2 whole eggs, you can have 50 to 70 grams of paneer, and that would give you somewhere around 10-12 grams of protein, give or take again, and somewhere around 130 to 150 calories. And that, I think, is a perfect replacement for the ones that do not have eggs. You can start having more paneer and cheese and include these quantities in your day-to-day life and get the best benefits out of it in terms of the protein and healthy fats, etc. Number 3 on our list is going to be curd. Curd is actually a very underrated source of protein. Although a cup of curd, I'm going to show it to you. A cup of curd typically is about 150 grams in weight, and that would give you somewhere around, as you can see on the screen, 4.7 grams of protein, 6 grams of fat, and 4 to 5 grams of carbs is what I usually consider. So give or take 100 calories, 90 to 100 calories, and the protein is going to be 4 to 5 grams, which is pretty good. Okay, so if you have a lunch and if you have a bowl of curd with it, it's just going to fulfill 5 grams of extra protein that you're going to get, right? So at the cost of 100 calories and a lot of probiotics, a lot of good nutrients that your body can use from the curd. Curd is extremely good to help digestive disorders, to help IBS, etc. It's going to be better if you have more curd every day, right? And at the cost of extra protein, the goddamn protein. Now coming to the last source on the dairy list, it's going to be milk. Everyone knows that milk is a good source of protein, right? Milk is actually a good source of calcium as well. Milk and even curd for that instance, it's a very good source of calcium. So for the people who are lactose intolerant, switching to curd and not having milk would be a better option. Most of the lactose from milk is converted to lactic acid in the process of milk becoming curd. So the problem of lactose intolerance is almost diminished when you actually have curd rather than milk. Okay, so but the ones who can have milk, you can just include a glass of milk here and there and just get extra protein. And I will just show you on the screen now. So we're gonna search for milk, and whether you go for toned milk, full cream milk, that's your choice. So I'm gonna search toned milk. Okay, and let's take Amul toned milk for that instance. Okay, and then here you see a typical serving would be somewhere around 200 ml. That would be like a medium glass of milk, and that would give you 100 to 120 calories, give or take, and 6 grams of protein. It is actually a good source of protein. 6 grams of protein in just a glass of milk, I would definitely take it. I was always a heavy milk drinker in the past, in my childhood, and I still really love milk, but due to my digestive issues, I'm kind of lactose sensitive, not intolerant, I would say. So I have milk here and there sometimes, but whenever I have milk, I break out. But I still can't resist milk. But anyway, quantity of protein, carbs, and fats can differ slightly by 5-10% in different brands, but essentially this would be an estimate. This would be the close range. Okay, 6 grams of protein, 6 to 7 grams of protein per 200 ml, and about 100 to 120 calories, give or take. Okay, and obviously if you go for full cream milk, I will just show you on the screen here as well. Amul full cream, Amul Taza full cream milk gold, that's what it is. So if let's compare 200 ml exactly, and that would give you 170 calories. So 50 to 60 calories extra that you would get in full cream milk. So it's really your pick and how you fit it in your calories. It does not matter if you have full cream milk or toned milk. Although I prefer having full cream milk more than toned milk. Because when I have toned milk, I break out more. When I have full cream, I don't. I don't know what's the logic behind it, but I've seen this in my body. So it's all about how you react to certain things and how your body allows you to have certain kind of foods, right? So what suits your body, you should have it. Do what suits your body. Simple. What you think works for you, do that. Okay. Alright, so this is the end of the first section, which is the dairy section. And now we're going to shift to the next section, which is the vegan plant-based section. Okay. And in this, we're going to start off with the best protein source, which is actually a complete source of amino acids. And although people think that it lacks some amino acids, it doesn't. It's soya. Soya bean, soya chunks, or tofu. Both of them fall pretty much in the same category. But for this section, I'm going to distinguish because of the calorie and protein intake. It differs. So first, we're going to talk about soya chunks. Soya chunks are a great source of protein. You can definitely include soya chunks in your diet and get the benefits out of that. I have soya chunks. I do not have man boobs. So if you're a guy wondering that, oh, soya will give me estrogen and I'm going to have man boobs. No, you're not. Can you see this picture? Do you think I have man boobs? So it's stupid. It's stupid to think that soya gives you boobs, soya gives you estrogen, so from a guy you'll become a girl. It's not. What even? ऐसा नहीं है कि milk gives you some hormones so that you will become hormonal resistant, insulin resistant if you have more milk. Or if you have soya chunks, then you will become estrogen dominant and your testosterone will decline. It's all very, very stupid. Okay. I don't eat soya chunks every day, but even if I want to, I could. Okay. It's just that I have a variety of protein sources in my diet. I have chicken, I have mutton, I have fish, I have prawns, I have dal, I have curd, I have this and that, I have soya chunks. So I have a lot of protein sources. I keep alternating every day. But essentially, if you want to have soya chunks every day, you can. Okay, now we're going to search for soya chunks. So Nutrela is a pretty popular brand here, soya chunks. So about typically a serving would be somewhere around 40-45 grams. So here it just shows a serving of 45 grams and 45 grams of soya chunks raw. Okay, raw soya chunks, obviously if you boil it and cook it, it becomes a little bit heavier. But if you measure it raw, it's going to be 45 grams. And if you measure 45 grams raw, then it would give you somewhere around 150 to 160 calories and 23 grams of protein, 0 fat, and 14 to 15 grams of carbohydrates, which is pretty good. It's like a great protein source. gives you good amount of amino acids, pretty cheap source of protein as well. And most people do very well on soya chunks, even the ones that have an issue in digesting meat. A lot of people can still digest soya chunks and not have any issues with that. So soya, all in all, is a great alternative, great option if you want to add soya chunks, but most people do not like the taste of it. Now, coming to the second source, tofu. Tofu is actually pretty much made from soya bean. It's like tofu is basically soya bean wala paneer, okay? And you see a typical serving size, we're going to consider similar 50 grams as what we considered for paneer. So 50 grams of tofu would give you 70 calories, 72 calories and 8.6 grams of protein. So pretty much the same amount of protein that you would get in paneer, but at the cost of almost half the calories, right? So paneer 50 grams would give you 130 calories and soya chunks, tofu 50 grams would give you only 70 calories. So from that perspective, it is a great alternative. But if you like paneer more than tofu, then you can obviously include paneer more than tofu. It's just as simple as that, right? But it has only 4 grams of fats and only 1 gram of carbohydrates. So it is actually a good source of protein that you can include in your day-to-day routine, and you can just shove some of it in your sandwich or wraps and you can get a lot of protein there as well, right? So you can mix it up in salads, like grilled tofu and veggie salad, like a Caesar salad that you make at home, and you can just make like tofu curry as well, or grilled tofu, and etc., right? So essentially this is something that would really help you fulfill your protein intake if you are struggling to manage your protein intake. Third on the list, we have lentils. All lentils, all beans, all chickpeas, all of them. Chickpeas, rajma, kala chana, the red chana, dals, all of them fall into the similar category. But I'm just going to show it to you on the screen, exactly the exact amount of calories that you would get. So chickpeas, if you take like 40 grams of chickpeas, obviously when you cook it, it becomes a little bit more. So a lot of people cannot have 100 grams of raw chickpeas in just one meal. It would be too much. If you cook it and boil it, it becomes like 300 grams of chickpeas. So a typical serving would be 40 grams raw chickpeas that someone would easily have. After cooking, it becomes somewhere around 100-120 grams anyway. Okay, so 40 grams of chickpeas, it gives you somewhere around 7.7 grams of protein, 2 grams of fat and 24 grams of carbohydrates at the cost of 150 calories, give or take. So again, a great option which you can include in your meals to get the good amount of fiber as well, because chickpeas are rich in fiber, rich in nutrients, vitamins, minerals, everything. So you can use this and it is a great source of protein. And moving on to rajma, kidney beans. So as you can see on the screen, if you take like 40 grams of rajma, which usually people would have, it would give you somewhere around 138 calories, similar to what you would get in chickpeas, and 9 grams of protein. So almost 1.5 grams of protein extra that you would get in kidney beans, and almost 0.5 grams of carbs and 0.5 grams of fat and 24 grams of carbohydrates, and 10 grams of good solid fiber, right? So it's a good source of protein and good rich source of fiber as well, which you can use, and it would really help you fulfill your protein requirements as well. But for the people that cannot digest rajma or chickpeas, like I'm not someone that would do very well having more chickpeas or rajma in my diet, and very hard for me to have more chickpeas and rajma. If I have chickpeas and rajma, I'll keep farting and I'm bloated and I don't like that feeling. Okay, so I really restrict and don't have a lot of chickpeas and rajma, but I do have dal. So now we'll come to dal. Okay, we're going to take moong dal because that's more widely consumed, right? So moong dal, if you take normal moong dal, then about 40 grams would be the serving size, and again it gives you similar 9.8 grams of protein, even more than rajma, and same amount of calories, 139, same amount of fat and carbs as rajma, 24 grams of carbs and 0.5 grams of fat, and almost 3.3 grams of fiber. So again, a great source of protein which you can include. Moong dal, again, it's a beautiful source which you should actually have. The problem is that people have patli dal which has more water and less grain, the less lentils, right? So I don't want you to do that. You want to have more of the protein and the nutrients from the moong dal, not just the water, right? You can obviously measure a raw. Let's say if you're cooking for 3 people, then you just take 100 to 120 grams, and if you take more of the lentil part, then you would obviously get 40 grams for yourself, and that's how you take estimate that okay, I'm having somewhere around 9 to 10 grams of protein from this cup of dal, right? So similarly, tur dal would give you the similar amount of protein. Just say tur dal, again, let's take 40 grams, and again, as you can see on the screen, 134 calories 40 grams mein, and 8.9 grams of protein, 23 grams of carbs. So you essentially see the difference, right? It's hardly 10 to 20% difference that you see in chickpeas, rajma and other dals for the protein intakes, right? So essentially you can use all of these different lentils, beans, lobia, chana, whatever you use, it's pretty much in the same category. So a typical serving size would be 40 grams of raw chickpeas, and then raw beans, raw lentils, and then when you cook it, obviously it takes more weight, right? For the next protein source, I'm going to include a very underrated protein source. All of the oil seeds fall into this because a lot of oil seeds, sunflower seeds, melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, all of them are really good protein sources, and they offer a lot of nutrients, a lot of healthy fats, monounsaturated fatty acids, which are really good for your heart health. So you can see pumpkin seeds, and if you take like a typical serving of 30 grams of 40 grams, 12 grams of protein in 40 grams, which is pretty good. Carbohydrates are 5.9 and fat is 19.6 grams. So it's heavy on the fats, but it's definitely worth the protein and worth the fatty acids and healthy nutrients and the vitamins, minerals that you get inside. So include 40 grams of pumpkin seeds as a snack here and there and get the protein and the extra nutrients from it. So it's a great source. And I'll also show you sunflower seeds here. And see, again, we're going to take 40 grams, which is a typical serving size. And again, you can see similar amount of calories, but the protein is slightly lesser. So this is again something that you can include. Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, again, pretty much falls in the same category. So you can use these protein sources and get some extra protein out of it. Right? And now for the next protein source. It's a plant or a whey protein powder. So whey protein would be a dairy product, obviously, but I didn't include it there because it's a protein powder, protein supplement. So I thought I'll cover it in the last part. Whether it is a plant protein or a whey protein that you use, it is absolutely fine. Both of them would give you similar amount of calories, similar amount of protein and carbs. So it does not matter. It doesn't matter whether you have plant protein or a whey protein. Although plant proteins, mostly people would not like the taste of plant proteins because it's extracted from peas and brown rice. Plant proteins are usually very powdery and they don't have the right taste. But I do have a few brands for you which you can use and they offer good taste. One is Muscle Blaze Bee Green. This is not a sponsored video, okay? I'm just giving you the recommendations from what I have tried and what I have had experience with, okay? The chocolate flavor is pretty good. The strawberry is also pretty good. One of my friend's brand, Plant Talk, I've spoken about it in my previous videos. It's a great plant protein which you can use. And if you want plant protein, I'll just link it down below and you can use it. I'm really doing this because it is a good product and I really want you to use genuine good products, and you can use either Muscle Base, Bee Green, Plix, Olina, or Ziva, whatever you use. It's all fine, but I personally like the taste of Plant Talk and Bee Green. You can literally get whatever you like, okay? Coming to whey proteins, I personally prefer Muscle Blaze Biozyme Whey Protein. Muscle Blaze has been in my journey for a long time, and again, this is not sponsored. None of these brands have paid me anything. I'm just telling it to you because I genuinely want to give you good recommendations, and you can do your research and buy whatever you like, but this is just my opinion. These were essentially my picks. And now coming to the protein and calorie intake. So one scoop of protein or a plant protein or a whey protein, whatever it is, it would give you typically 20 to 25 grams of protein per scoop. It should give you, actually the ones that I recommended would give you 25 grams at least per scoop. And you would get somewhere around 100 to 130 calories max. Give or take 120 to 130 calories give or take would be in a scoop of plant protein or whey protein, and it's 25 grams of pure protein with good amino acid profile, good absorption. When you have a busy schedule, etc., you can just mix water and plant protein and just shake it and have it, or a whey protein and shake it and have it, or you can make like a smoothie with fruits, seeds, nuts. If you like it, it's a good thing that you can have. One bonus protein source that I wanted to share with you is peanut butter. Although a lot of people don't like considering peanut butter as a protein source, well, I technically wouldn't like classifying peanut butter as a protein source specifically because it has more calories from fat than protein. But anyway, it gives you a good amount of protein. It is easy to include in your nutrition plan, and it is easy to have as a snack. So definitely it makes its way on the list. I'm currently using the muscle-based peanut butter. Again, I like muscle-based products, so I'm just using that. 1 tablespoon, 16 grams would give you somewhere around 93 calories and about 6 grams of protein. So I think that's pretty good, and about 6.5 grams of fat as well. So peanut butter, again, it's a great source which you can add in your smoothies, add to toast and just get some more protein there. It's like a good healthy snack which also gives you a decent amount of protein. So it's all about having a variety of these different sources and getting protein from little bits of protein from all these protein sources and combining and fulfilling your protein intake. I hope you actually start using more of these sources because it is really important to hit your protein targets. And again, I'm just going to refresh your memory. For the ones that are working out, 1.5 to 1.6 grams of protein per kg of body weight, and for the ones who are not working out, 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kg of your body weight. Okay, I hope this was actually helpful to you, and if it was, then I would be really grateful if you could like and share this video with your friends and family members, because it really helps with the algorithm and people would start watching more of my videos, and I would be really grateful to you. And subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I post new videos. And this is my Instagram. If you want to hit me up for my personal coachings, video consultations, or just to see what I eat in a day, what I do in a day, then you can head over to my Instagram and I would love to help you there. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more interesting content, and I will see you in the next video.